Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're out of the house because the weather is beautiful.
Yeah, it's supposed to be raining, but it's not, so we'll take it.
Yeah, the weatherman's wrong. Sometimes we rejoice, sometimes we cry, but either way, we're gonna enjoy the day today. So a lot of you have told me that I need to get a solar panel battery maintainer for our vehicles that just sit around.
Gary's finally listening to the people.
Well, it's not that I didn't listen. I never got to the store, but I was at, what's that called? Harbor Freight. They didn't have one Saturday, so I left bummed. I was sad. But yesterday I went to Tractor Supply to get a new duck water because the storm that blew over our chicken tractor and everything busted our duck water in two and messed it up. But when I went to leave, or before I went to leave, I took a little trip around and I found one. So I want to show you guys how it works real quick. In case you have the need for one as well, I found it at Tractor Supply. That truck over there needs one. This bus also needed one. So I'll show you guys real quick. Cassie and I are gonna go put some diesel in the bus, but it's just this big. This one's a Coleman brand, and I think it was like 20 bucks or $25, something like that. But you just set it right in your dash, plug it in, and it provides a 2 amp trickle charge to your battery. So when you're not using it, you take it out, and let's see how it does. This bus, usually after a few days of sitting still, has a little bit of a problem on starting. Not like it doesn't start, but it's just kind of slow.
Yeah.
The battery slowly loses juice.
You gotta wait for the wait to start light to go off.
Yep.
Woo!
That was pretty fast.
It's a little hot in here.
Yeah, I'll turn the fans on. All right, we're on the bus. Everybody get your seat. We're going for a ride.
Yeah, the big one.
We got the crazy bus driver
No
up there.
yelling on the bus. What movie is that on?
No idea. I can't think of it. What is it?
Chris Farley, isn't it?
Chris Farley?
Maybe on Tommy Boy or...
I don't know. If you know that movie, leave it down in the comments. No yelling on the bus. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. She thinks it's Chris Farley.
I know.
So let us know what movie it is, but we're going to head to town real quick. We might bring you along for a little bit of the ride, but I also went over to the remodel house this morning. We got a contractor that's going to get started today on taking down the brick in front of that old window. So I'm going to show you guys that right now. So we are back at the remodel house. Try to give you guys a quick update. You saw Ranger over at Walker Farm Fam doing a little bit of mowing and on his channel, Ranger's Life. So everything's looking good here, but starting to tackle the next project. I just met with the contractor that is a bricklayer, and so we've made an agreement. He is going to come in here and cut all of this brick out, get it cleaned up so he can reuse it. I'm going to come in next after he gets all the brick out, and I'm going to take out this bay window completely, and I'm going to frame up a new window. The new window will probably be from there to there, and I'll have to wait until I actually get the window. He'll go back and put in his brick underneath it to make it a regular window. So what we want to do is match basically what you see over here with this brickwork and over here with this, where you have the window and you just come through here nice and even to make it all match. Between half and a quarter. How much will it hold? What's your guess?
Sometimes it won't let you get more than $100, so I try to, as soon as it gets under half, I try to fill it up, because if not, it will only let me get $100 at a time.
All right, well, we're gonna fill it up completely, whether it takes 1 or 2 pumps. So I'm gonna go 126.
Really?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think we'll be under 100.
Okay. All right, now I'm changing mine. 108. I think it'll be barely over 100.
Do you have any download receipt paper?
$99.14.
I'm winner.
No receipt paper, Cassie.
Well, this is the second pump in 2 days that hasn't had receipt paper at Maverick in Locust Grove. They also don't have lids and straws and coffee stirrers and all other sorts of things.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Get it together, Maverick.
Corporate will send us an email and we can air our grievances there if we need to.
Do better.
Well, we just made it back to the house. I was going to look real quick. The garden is still a little bit too wet to plant, and we have more rain forecasted. I wanted to see if I could see anything coming up as far as corn goes, and I don't see anything yet. I think that's just grass. So it's only been about 3 or 4 days, so corn should start popping up at any moment, and I'm excited about that. Cassie, what's your favorite thing in the garden?
When you do turnips for me, I like that. Let me throw this in the trash.
I was gonna say that the thing that I see Cassie getting the most is those little yellow tomatoes.
Huh?
Or orange, the little tomatoes.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
The sweet, low acid?
Hang on.
I can't remember what they're called. They're like a sweet, low acid orange.
Or yellow. I call them orange.
Cassie calls them orange, I call them yellow tomatoes. You guys might know the name of them. But
I like turnips and beets. Wait, turnips and
radishes?
radishes. But Gary is right. I think last year was the first time he planted those, and I would go out and get me a handful often.
So radishes and beets, radishes are good. My problem with radishes are you plant them and you get like 150 of them.
Yeah.
And I like maybe want to eat 5. I don't want to eat that much. So we're going to check on a couple animals real quick before Cassie heads off to school.
Yeah.
And I've got some work planned because not tomorrow, but the next day, our Mays County, county commissioners are having a cleanup day. So I am going to be filling this trailer with that junk. So we saved, I think, 3 or 4 bus seats because the guy that we sold our other bus to said that he might want them. Well, it turns out he didn't want them, but that's okay. So they've been sitting outside and just taking up space. So that's an old light that doesn't work anymore. There might be a little bit of metal here, but not enough to really mess with because you'd have to take all of that other stuff off. So they're going to the dump. You got any trash you want to haul off?
Not that I can think of.
Well, now's the time, let me tell you, because it's free. I really like that they do that. I wish they'd do it more often.
Yeah.
Because you see a lot of people dumping on public roads. They'll throw a mattress down on a back road somewhere or a couch, but if they have this cleanup, it doesn't happen as much. So we're gonna take a quick minute to check on the donkeys and look at their feet. We're thinking maintenance right now, not only maintenance on the bus and keeping the batteries charged, but these donkeys, they get their annual worming right now this week. So we're gonna get the wormer, but then the feet. So Benny, can I have this foot? Their feet need to be trimmed periodically. Nothing looks terrible on him, but we have the phone number for a guy that we lost our last farrier. Did he go back to California?
Yep, but there's a kid I used to have in school when I taught at Salina. I just saw people were posting that he just went through farrier school, so I'm texting him right now.
All right, so one of Cassie's old students, which if somebody's graduating school, college, you probably have like elementary age kids that you taught in PE graduate in college right now, don't you?
Yeah,
or
he was an elementary kid.
Or having kids. But we want to make sure that our donkeys get any problems, can I have that fixed before they arise. I don't really see anything, not looking too overgrown. Faith looked a little bit long on her back feet. We can go look at her in a second and kind of show you what kind of a warning looks like. But these donkeys, one thing about them, They are pretty much low maintenance compared to a horse. You worm them a couple times a year, get their feet checked probably once a year, unless you see problems, and I think that's about it. I mean, if you could get the attitude out of them, that would be nice, but they don't say stubborn as a cow or stubborn as a chicken.
What's funny is his dad was a farrier, and his dad always did my ponies when I was little. No, grandpa.
His grandpa?
So, following in his footballs, grandpa's footsteps.
What do you have in that cup?
Apparently when you try to say grandpa and footsteps at the same time, it comes out.
Football?
Football. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we're not going to cut that out. Well, you get the real stuff right here. We'll go check on the other two
Everybody can talk perfect.
donkeys. Yeah, not everybody's perfect. Well, hello, Dolly and Faith. So you guys look at the difference here. We got Faith's front, well, she's a good girl. She's gonna give it to me, and then look at her back. So this back one is the one that I'm worried about. It's just a little bit long, but not terrible. But we want to get that taken care of if it needs to be done.
He texted back and said he only does donkeys if they're easy to get along with.
Oh yeah. Did you tell him miniature?
Oh, I should probably tell him that.
Yeah, that probably helps, because whenever you go to mess with a miniature donkey, you can pretty much handle them as long as you are bigger than they are. And we're pretty much bigger than they are, so these two are getting along pretty good. I don't see them fighting or doing anything. Dolly, are you just fat or are you pregnant?
So that's the deal, is I don't really think, other than Faith, anybody needs any attention. But I've been around horses my whole life. I look at it looks just fine. But to avoid any trouble, and because maybe donkeys can be a little different, I'd rather him come out and look at everybody's and get his opinion. Her fronts look great. Her backs is what's long.
See how her backs is starting to angle? Like, so you want that foot.
They're coming to a point. They're not round.
Yeah, you want that foot more like this, and they're starting to lay down a little bit.
But I do know, even though they look good from up here, sometimes the bottoms can start getting to where they're not walking even or hitting right. So I just want to make sure everybody's good. Also, they can get packed in with stuff, and if they just clean them, trim them, and do all that, people I've talked to that have donkeys, they've said they do them as needed. They don't do it routinely like a horse does, and I can see that that's probably all that's needed. Look at them as needed. Hers don't look completely right in the back, so let's get them looked at.
Yeah, I think he'll trim up the back of hers, but I don't really see any problems with the other ones. And you know who acted crazy the other day?
Your son.
I made a reel on Facebook. I don't think I've shown this on YouTube. This little bull, Mr. Jake, I don't know if the weather was right or what was going on, but he was acting a fool whenever I went to put that bale of hay into the feeder. You want to show him, Jake, how you really act? You want to show him your true colors? You want to show him your true colors? All right, let's take a look. Yay! Knock it off! So Jake was not acting like his normal self, and the weather had cooled down. The cows were up here. I think he was trying to show out for them. But what I noticed when I went to bring this bale of hay in, down there at the end of the field, was a problem. Jake had rammed the gate a couple times. I don't know if he was scratching or what, but those gates are not made to be rammed by a bull. So he is now confined to this area where he has metal panels, and that's it.
Don't snot on me. So I told him
Oh,
I can.
it's okay. You gonna tell us about it?
I told him I can pick up all 4 feet. Obviously,
All but
Loretta would be able to. Hers looked fine. If he looked at them and said they needed special treatment and he
We gotta shoot right over there.
Well, I was gonna say, we gotta shoot if that would help him out, or take her to the vet or something if we had to. But I mainly just want him to come get eyes on them, and then he might even be like, their feet are perfect, why do you want me to do anything?
Yeah, so let's...
But I told him I can pick up all 4 feet and they're mini donkeys, and he said, yes ma'am, I can come do it.
Yeah, he'll make a few dollars, and we'll get peace of mind having a person look at him that's been through school, learn the trade, and able to do it.
Support young kids who are trying to make something of themselves. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's, you make friends in whatever you're doing, whatever industry you're in. If you're a farmer, make friends with farmers.
I probably yelled at him and ran him when he was little too, so I want to make up for that.
Oh geez, he's gonna charge us extra. I can see it now. Oh, $300 to trim one foot. Okay.
$10 for every lap she made me run.
So Cassie's gonna head off to work, school for the 7th hour.
Some of us got to make a living around here.
Exactly. So I'm gonna bring you guys along back to the remodel house and check up on the brick and see how much brick is down. Also, I have some fires or brush piles I want to set on fire. I want to make some fires. If it's not too windy, we might burn some brush.
Oh, I hate to miss it.
I know, it's a lot of fun. We'll see you out there. This is the next day and we are back at the remodel house. So I'm gonna give you guys an update of the brick being removed. It was all done yesterday, so he did quick work, did a good job. Rain has been forecasted, and you guys can look at the sky. It was forecasted for today, tomorrow, the next day. So I did not plan on working on this, because when I work on it, I want to take out all those windows completely, frame it up. I want at least a little bit of nice weather in the forecast. So what you can see though, look at this. Really no insulation in this little window at all. Not good. So all of this I'm going to be taking out, and taking out 1, 2, 3 windows. All that will be gone, and we will be going back. Oh, I'm going to step on something. We'll be going back with these bricks that were removed correctly. So what he had to do is go through here with a saw and saw each one of these bricks to get it out, and he'll be putting it back, as I said, correctly, using the existing brick we had. So that was the key, kind of a 2-part job. So what we'll be doing, you can see right here, was cut all the way down. It'll go back. He said, for instance, on areas like this right here, he'll try to take out this little brick and go back with a full brick from there over, and do as best as he can. You know, it might not look exactly perfect, but it'll be a lot better than it was. So I'm excited about the progress with that. Thankful that we got somebody that can. So I am, though, today I'm gonna go ahead and cut some pieces of plywood and go ahead and wrap around that. But before I get started on that, I want to start burning brush. So right now everything's green. We have a lot of moisture in the air. So I'm gonna get some diesel out, put a little diesel on this, and start burning this fire. I know it hasn't seasoned probably long enough, but guess what? We're gonna give it a try anyway. We don't have anything to waste, nothing to lose, and then we'll move around back and try to burn some there. So this should be fun. And just a reminder, I do not recommend using any type of gasoline, but diesel is a lot more stable, and I will use that for myself, but you make your own judgment for whatever works for you. So let's see what happens. I did bring a water hose and a bucket, so that way if something did happen to catch on fire, we're ready. The first brush pile is well underway, throwing some heat, but it's looking really rainy out here, so I'm gonna go get the next brush pile going. Hopefully these will have enough time to burn. I think around 2 o'clock, it's around noon right now, but around 2 o'clock we're supposed to have rain showers moving in, so trying to get these started and up in smoke as quickly as possible. So we got one right here, one right there. We'll get it going. All right, now this brush pile is a begonder. It is massive. So I think once we get it going though, it'll take off just fine. Always feels good to get things cleaned up, especially in the springtime, because you know the growth of the grass and everything is only going to be worse. So if we can get it cleaned up right now, or we can mow and maintain it, it's gonna be that much better. I'll walk over here, keep an eye on this brush pile. There's a kind of industrial building right there, but when everything's as green as it is, there's really not a lot of risk, so we're in good shape today. Whew, that is as close as I can get. It's hot. So I've been working a little bit on the inside, but I thought I'd give you guys a quick update. That brush pile is almost gone. This is older, dead, more seasoned wood, and it should sit here and burn for a long time unless the rain puts it out later. I think I've got something pretty scary when I start removing some foam board. So I don't know what they were thinking when they built this. I do not like these types of windows, these bay windows. I just do not like them. But they put this foam board in here, and you guys can see zero insulation. Zero insulation. And then right here, where it had been leaking, look at this. That wood right there is not supporting a single thing. So that's what you get into though whenever you have bay windows, and that's the top reason I wanted to make sure and do away with that. I know it's going to be more of a headache to spend the money and get it done correctly, but if it's a headache, it's worth it, because what lies beneath is kind of scary. Well, all the foam is off, and I am so happy that I took this apart, because there was not even any kind of OSB or plywood or any kind of backing. It was just basically foam and then some brick ties. Did have a little insulation in some of it, but like I said, you never know what's hiding beneath until you start taking it apart. But look at all the water damage. All that's water damage. You go inside there, that's all good. It's just water seeping down the corners. So that's apart. Now it's time to cut some wood to cover it back up. So we have 1.5 and 3-inch screws. One way or the other, we'll figure out something to hit. There we go. So I would have a lot rather just taken all this out at once, but I did not expect to be doing this today. I thought it was going to rain, and so I didn't go get all the material or bring all the tools that I needed to do it like I want to do it. So I want to get all the material, all the tools. We'll be ready to go next time. So that is back and ready to go for now. I thought I would bring you guys back here real quick before I leave and go check on the brush piles. So this one is more or less gone. I plan on bringing my tractor over here before too long. And when I do, I'll take everything and kind of push it back together and burn everything that can still burn one last time. But for the most part, that brush pile is gone. This one over here is still sitting here gonna burn. I have zero worries about anything right now with as green as everything is, so that's gonna do well. The one up front, I'm gonna have to move it around a little bit, push it together, and keep working. So that's the moral of the story. Just keep moving, just keep going, just keep working, and it'll get done. So I need to spend a lot more time over here. And this summer, I want to get Ranger over here to help with some of the inside work. He's old enough that he can really start learning some of this, and it'll benefit him for a long time to come. So I need to get a list of all the tools I'm going to need. I'm going to need a sledgehammer to bust out these blocks. I'm going to need my 2x4s, my framing materials, nails, and I really need about a dozen more bricks. So maybe up to 30 or 40. Because whenever we come back in, I want to do that same design over the top of this window. And so it's probably going to take a few more bricks. So I want to see what I can do at the house. I have a few old bricks. I'm going to look and see what they're like. But I want to take about 2 or 3 of these and see if I can find a halfway close match. Even if it's not perfect, we can work them in and it'll be better than putting wood above it or something like that. So that's the plan. It's starting to look more rainy, so I'm gonna get home. I'll bring you guys along. We'll check on a few animals before we end the video. I'm back at the house and I thought we'd do a quick search for some brick to see if they would even match or see how they would look if we have any. And we're still on lamb watch. No babies yet. Go on, Benjamin. I don't know if Benjamin is quite big enough. Cassie thinks we'll have some babies soon. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, girls and boys. Rowdy patiently waiting. There you go. All right. Oh, Rowdy got ran out. Hang on, Rowdy. I'll give you some, bud. There you go. All right, ducks. We'll check on the turkeys real quick. Cassie says you gotta grab their back in. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 turkey eggs and a duck egg. I wonder if they got fertilized before we lost our Tom. Time will tell. We'll find out. So I kept a lot of different things, but I do not remember seeing any brick. So this right here is rock. When we built our house, that's leftover rock. Hello, Jake. How are you, big boy? And don't see any brick. Oh, there's a few over there. Let me look. I don't think it's enough to do what we want. So, there's one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So, there's 14 bricks. So that might actually be enough to get us closer. So I'll pick up those bricks probably and take them. They're about in the same family of color. They might not be an exact match, but I think having a few more extra just to mix in with the rest of them won't hurt anything. I'll leave it up to the bricklayer. If he tells me I need to go get more, I'll go find some more. Hey, Jake. I don't have any food for you, buddy. Sorry. I'm coming around, though. You're next, okay? All right. Well, Ransom has baseball games tonight. I'm going to have to get the chores knocked out and take care of business with that. So, as always, we want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to catch up with the Walkers here at Walker Farm. We hope you have a great day, and God bless.